Welcome back to Rocky Mountain Prepper. I'm Bellum. Today we are going to start a new series called A Strong Foundation. Because in life we need a strong foundation of faith to weather any disaster or storm that comes. I get this name from a parable that Yeshua HaMashiach, commonly known as Jesus the Christ, said, and it was recorded in the book of Matthew, verse 7:24. It says, "Everyone who hears these words of mine and does them shall be like a wise man who builds his house on the rock. And the rain came, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house. And it did not fall, for it was founded on the rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them shall be like a foolish man who built his hand on the sand. And the rains came down, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and they beat on that house, and it fell, and great was its fall." Our lives are like these houses. Doesn't matter how prepared we are, without a strong foundation of faith, we cannot make it. So we will work our way through the entire Bible, and we will discuss it as well. We are starting in the book of Genesis, which is the first book of the Tanakh, the writings of Moses. Bereshit, or Genesis, chapter 1. "In the beginning, Elohim created the heavens and the earth came to be, formless and empty, and darkness was on the face of the deep, and the Spirit of Elohim was moving on the face of the waters. And Elohim said, 'Let light come to be,' and light came to be. And Elohim saw the light, that it was good. And Elohim separated the light from the darkness. And Elohim called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, day one. And Elohim said, 'Let an expanse come to be in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters.' And Elohim made the expanse, and separated the waters which were under the expanse from the waters which were above the expanse. And it came to be so. And Elohim called the expanse heavens, and there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, the second day. And Elohim said, 'Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let dry land appear.' And it came to be so. And Elohim called the dry land earth, and the collection of the waters he called seas. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim said, 'Let the earth bring forth grasses, the plants that yield seed, and the fruit trees that yield fruit according to its kind. Those seeds, whose seed is in itself on the earth.' And it came to be so. And the earth brought forth grass, and the plants that yield seed according to its kind, and the trees that yield fruit, whose seed is in itself according to its kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, the third day. And Elohim said, let lights come to be in the expanse of the heavens, to separate the day from the night, and let them be signs for appointed times, and for days and years, and let them be for light in the expanse of the heavens, to give light on the earth. And it came to be so. And Elohim made two great lights, the greater to rule the day, and the lesser to rule the night and the stars. And Elohim set them in the expanse of the heavens, and gave light on the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And Elohim saw it was good. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, the fourth day. Elohim said, let the waters teem with shoals of living beings, and let birds fly above the earth on the face of the expanse of the heavens. And Elohim created great sea creatures, and every living being that moves, with which the waters teemed, according to their kind, and every winged bird according to its kind. And Elohim saw it was good. And Elohim blessed them, saying, be fruitful and increase, fill the waters in the seas, and let the birds increase on the earth. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, the fifth day. And Elohim said, let the earth bring forth the living being according to its own kind, livestock and creeping creatures, and beasts of the earth according to its kind. And it came to be so. And Elohim made the beasts of the earth according to its kind, livestock according to its kind, and all that creep on the earth according to its kind. And Elohim saw it was good. And Elohim said, let us make man in our image, according to our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over all the creeping creatures that creep on the ground. And Elohim created the man in his image, and in the image of Elohim, and he created him. Male and female he created them. And Elohim blessed them. And Elohim said to them, be fruitful and increase, and fill the earth, and subdue it, and rule over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the heavens, and over all creeping creatures on the earth. And Elohim said, see, I have given you every plant that yields seed, which is on the face of the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. To you it is for food, and to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the heavens, and to every creeping creature on the earth in which there is a living being, every green plant is for food. And it came to be so. And Elohim saw that he had made what he had made, and see, it was very good. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, the sixth day. Thus the heavens and the earth were this is chapter 2 now. Thus the heavens and the earth were completed, and all their array. And in the seventh day Elohim completed his work which he had done, and he rested in the seventh day from all of his work which he had made. And Elohim blessed the seventh day, and set it apart, because on it he rested from all his work which Elohim in creating had made. These are the births of the heavens and the earth, when they were created, and in that day Yahweh Elohim made earth and heavens. Now no shrub was in the field was yet on the earth, and no plant in the field had yet sprung up, for Yahweh Elohim had not sent rain on the earth, and there was no man to till the ground. See, right here it's actually retracing back into the previous bit of the story. It's one way that the old Jewish teachers would do it to kind of cement it in your mind. They went through the general of what all happened, and then they get more specific about the key points. So let's go on now. But a mist went up from the earth, and watered the entire surface of the ground. And Yahweh Elohim formed the man out of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of lives. And the man became a living being. And Elohim planted a garden in Eden to the east, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground Elohim made every tree grow that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, with the tree of life in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and there it divided and became 4 heads. And the name of the first is the Pishon. It is the one surrounding the entire land of I do not know how to pronounce that, but I will try. Please correct me if you can. Hawalhina? Anyway, where there is gold. This is modern day Arabia, the Arabian Peninsula. That's where that one supposedly sits. We don't know for sure. And the gold of that land is good. And there came, and the name of the second river is Gihon. It is the one surrounding the entire land of Cush. And the name of the third river is, I cannot pronounce that, but it is it is now known as the Tigris. It is one that goes toward the east of Ashur, and the fourth is the Euphrates. And Yahweh Elohim took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work and to guard it. And Yahweh Elohim commanded the man, saying, "Eat of every tree in the garden, but do not eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. For in that day you eat it, you shall surely die." And Yahweh Elohim said, "It is not good for man to be alone. I am going to make a helper for him as his counterpart." And from the ground Elohim formed every beast of the field, every bird of the heavens, and brought them to the man to see what he would call them. And whatever the man called each living being, that was its name. He must have been a genius to be able to come up with that many names. So the man gave names to all livestock, and to the birds of the heavens, and to every beast of the field. But for the man there was not found a helper for him as his counterpart. So Yahweh Elohim caused a deep sleep to fall on the man, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh in its place. And the rib which Yahweh Elohim had taken from the man he made into a woman. and he brought her to the man. And the man said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. This one is called woman, because she was taken out of man. For this cause a man shall leave his father and his mother, and cleave to his wife, and they shall become one flesh." And they were both naked, the man and his wife, yet they were not ashamed. Now that is important to know, that he was taken from the rib, because science has known for a little while that if you actually cut the ribs in a surgical manner, they will grow back. And so God knew this, obviously, and he removed what would actually grow back. So men do not actually have one less rib than women, because it does grow back. But we're going to stop here for today, and I hope to see you again very soon. Thank you all for joining me. Like, subscribe, and share, please.